So how do you try to draw that out of these voices and get them off the stump speech?
Well, I was sitting in my hotel room in my boxers this morning thinking about that very question.
Well, there's something reassuring about this.
Yeah, not very reassuring. 2 cups of coffee. And, you know, I wrote out a bunch of questions. I can't even read my own handwriting, and I don't have my glasses, so I probably won't even be reading them. But really, you can kind of, I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people. It's like the one thing I've done in life. And you just get a very strong feeling from someone, a vibe from someone when you're in the physical presence of that person. It's very different from talking on the phone or doing a Zoom or whatever the Chinese-controlled software is. And I'm sure it's totally on the level, don't worry. Just calm down, conspiracy nuts.
This is starting so well.
I'm not used to working in the morning, sorry. I'm like walking my dogs at this hour. But you really get a different feeling when you're with someone physically. I believe in that. And so you know, I've got like an opening question or whatever for everybody, but the subsequent questions are always based on the answer. You know, I think, and worked at, believe it or not, you know, 25 years ago I worked at CNN for years. And at the time there was this host there who really dominated cable television called Larry King. And everybody said, oh, Larry King's an idiot. He's never read a book. He's written 12 books but never read one. You know, everyone would make fun of Larry King. And I, of course, did too because I was shallow and mean. But then I became his fill-in guy. And I would, you know, when he was on vacation, I would fill in for him. And I had a long talk with him about how to do the show. And he goes, no, I just listen really carefully. Like, I don't know anything. I'm the most ignorant man in the world. I've never read a book. That's totally true. I'm basically illiterate. But I'm interested in other people. And when they answer, like, I follow carefully what they say. And that's the key. Because I like people. And I thought, Larry King's like kind of a genius, actually. There's a reason he was #1. And I've really tried to emulate that in the years since. Just listen carefully to what the person says. And of course, when you're interviewing politicians, like, they want to drown you with their words, none of which they mean. Like, I'm not pointing to anyone specifically, but like, you know, there's just, it's a Vesuvius of words. Well, and another thing. And, you know, so your job is to try to kind of keep it to the relevant stuff without being impolite. I try not to be impolite ever. I really try to be polite. But to try to, you know, like, keep the person to stuff that will inform the audience in a meaningful way about who the person is. So that's kind of my strategy for all interviews.